I have seen so many good things about these books, so I figured it's about time I give in to all the hype. Hello friends, in this video I'm going to be spending a week reading Ali Hazelwood books. So I'm going to be reading The Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and Loathe to Love You. I'm excited to see what Ali Hazelwood got in store for me, so let's get started. So I'm starting with none other than The Love Hypothesis, which is very, very popular. This one is a fake dating trope between a PhD student and a professor, but like nobody likes this professor. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I do love the fake dating trope.
You make me wanna be with somebody, doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the hotel, make the same when I'm on my own.
So I'm now in chapter 15 and I am loving this book. So I'm definitely getting through this book faster than I normally would because I'm reading the paperback, but I'm also listening to the audiobook, which is different for me. Never done it before, but highly convenient. So it's obviously fake dating trope, but it's also like a slow burn because they're taking their time expressing their like true feelings to one another, which is so cute. I'm also really loving the main character, Olive. We love a good woman in STEM. And also Adam, he has like a really soft spot for her and you could tell like he's kind of protective over her. It's so cute. I've also never read like a book that's like really academic driven and I'm loving it. I'm learning a lot, if I'm being honest. I should probably take some notes. Where I am right now in the book, something did just happen that kind of like changes the course of the book and I'm interested to see where it's heading. Anyways, I'm very excited to see how this book ends and where their relationship goes because with that little thing that just happened in this book, I don't know how I feel about it.
All my friends think I'm somebody, doing things that I usually don't. Find my way through the hotel.
A little update for you guys. I'm on chapter 19 now. And I'm mad. I just hate. Ugh! Obviously, we're in the fake dating trope, okay? We're gonna have obstacles, of course. But I hate when it has to do with like miscommunication. It just kills me because it's so clear that they both have these strong feelings towards each other, but they just decide themselves that it's like not even possible. Instead of like talking it out and working it out, no, it's not possible. I'm having a moment. Anyways, that's my little TED talk for right now. I just had a rant because I got a little bit worked up with what was happening.
Down on the road, I've been around the floor, rooftops, sliding doors, just wanna know you.
So I finished The Love Hypothesis last night and it was so good. I was very satisfied with the ending, so it did make up for my little rant earlier. Honestly, my favorite part about this book is that it was centered around a woman in STEM, which I've never read a book like that before, but I loved it. I also loved learning. I feel like I got a whole lesson in this book about science, and the research she was doing was very complicated, but I also understood it. So that's good. I will say this book definitely kicked off my romance mood because now I just want to read more, which is always a good thing. You know I love the fake dating trope. But like just as much, if not more, I love me enemies to lover trope. This is the next book on the list to read, Love on the Brain, and I already did start. I'm on chapter 7 and so far so good. I will say it's not the enemies to lovers that I thought it would be. It's more so that she gets the vibe that he doesn't like her, although we don't really know the reason, and therefore because of that she doesn't like him. So far in this book, what I'm loving is 1, the main character. B, I love her personality. She's very much like, she knows that she's the ish and she's very bold and blunt, but not in a mean way because she's not really mean. That's more his job, although he's not really mean. He's just not approachable. He just doesn't give the good vibe. Anyways, I also love what type of science this one is revolved around. This one, it was research for, I believe it was pancreatic cancer. But in this one, she's a neuroscience and he's an engineer and they're teaming up because NASA needs a helmet. Okay, I didn't summarize that correctly, but it's something like that. At the point where I'm at in the book now is when it's finally going to start to pick up because they are now going to try and work together. I think they have like 3 months to get this thing done.
We used to have each other's playlists. No, each other's best friends. Yeah. And now we go our separate pathways.
Okay, it's time for another book update. So, currently on chapter 20. I'm loving this book so much. I even like it more than I did the Love Hypothesis. It's just something about the main character that I love so much. One thing I will say though is that she is so oblivious. Like, his feelings for her are clear as day, but for some reason she's not getting the hint. The way that their romance is like developing, it's so cute. Because there's also a subplot that I'm so interested to see how it intertwines at the end, because we still don't know how they connect. And that's what I'm curious about, because I have like 70 pages left and I feel like we still have so much to cover. Are we gonna have enough time for this? I can't. I keep trying to peek at the pages. I need to stop. So I finished the book yesterday, and guys, I love this book so much. I think one of my most favorite things about this book is the main character B, because she's just so herself. Like, she really just doesn't care, and she just says whatever is on her mind, and I love that about this. I also really feel like this book does a good job at exposing like the testing system, because there's this whole subplot in this book that if you read, you already know, but I was so invested into it. It also took like a wild turn at the end, which I also wasn't expecting. Like, I was kind of expecting it, but not the way it played out. In the end, everything does tie together, but I did feel like it was like a little bit rushed, but it was still good. I just really loved how cute and funny this book was. I really was goofing and gaffing sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. This one did something to me. The next book that I'm going to be reading is Loathe to You, and this is 3 novellas put into one book. Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. And I don't know what any of these novellas are about, and I'm gonna go into it blind because I just want to figure it out on my own. And I've never read a novella before, and so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it, because I don't know if I'm able to connect with a character in only like about 100 pages. But we're gonna find out together. It is a steminist novella collection, so it all has to do with women in STEM, and I love me some women in STEM. So
maybe we could try it next week again, but I don't wanna think we're toxic, but who cares?
So I've read 64 pages so far. I'm on chapter 6 now of the first novella, which is Under One Roof, and so far so good. Honestly, I'm starting to see a trend. I really just think that I really enjoy Ali Hazelwood's writing. The way she just writes her main characters, I don't know, it just does something to me. I'm not mad at it. Basically, Mara ends up moving in with Liam. He's a lawyer, she's an engineer, but he's not very fond of having a roommate. It's interesting reading a novella for the first time because I'm noticing the difference in pace. I feel like I'm getting through this book pretty quickly, and the fact that they're already starting to be friends pretty early in the book, it still got me interested. Time to update you guys in the book. So I finished Under One Roof. After like the halfway mark, I don't know if I lost interest in the other half, or like, I have no idea what happened, but I just didn't really love it. I kind of felt like I was reading it just so I could finish it, not necessarily because I was enjoying it. But overall, I mean, it was good. It was my first novella, so I didn't really know what to expect. But now I'm getting like the gist of it. It's really character driven. Like, you don't really hear about anything else. Like, the whole idea is to focus on the characters and their relationship that they're building. I don't know, I still gotta sit and like marinate on how I'm feeling about it. Okay. Moving on, I actually listened to the whole audiobook of Stuck With You yesterday on my way to school. So Stuck With You is when I started making the connections. Like I said in the beginning, I didn't read the back. I still haven't, but like I don't know what I was getting myself into. But reading Stuck With You, I realized that these are all interconnected standalones. So there's 3 best friends, and each novella is from the perspective of a different best friend. Stuck With You is about Eric and Sadie, and they both get stuck on this elevator, but Sadie is not very fond of Eric because they have a little bit of a history. I'm gonna be so honest with you, I have no like feelings towards it. I don't know, it didn't do much for me. I really don't know how I'm feeling about these novellas. It's not that they're bad, it's just that they're not doing much for me. I like the whole idea of this one too, like it's forced proximity, enemies to lovers. Are they all gonna be like that? Oh, it is called Loathe to Love You. Oh, Now it's time for my last read, which is Below Zero. I'm hoping this one's good. I'm hoping I feel something for this one. So I finished Below Zero, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup while I give you my final thoughts about the whole novella series. So I will say Below Zero was my favorite of the 3 novellas. I feel like there was just more depth to the characters. Like, okay. Like, for one, I feel like I got to actually know the male character. Him and the main female character, they connected over something. And that could be because in the other novellas, they didn't have, like, the same job. So, in Below Zero, they actually did. Now, something that I will say as a whole that all 3 novellas touch on is, like, a little bit of the miscommunication trope. Especially in the first book with the main male character. I feel like he just needed to learn how to talk. So now I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts and what I rated each of these books. So let's go ahead and do that real quickly. First book I read was Love Hypothesis, and I loved it so much. I definitely understand the hype. Although it wasn't my favorite Ali Hazelwood book, I really did enjoy the chemistry between the characters. I will say this book does touch on a little bit of miscommunication. I kind of noticed a little bit of a trend considering the novellas that I read, but it's okay. I still did really enjoy this book. Overall, I gave this book 4 stars. It is something that I would recommend to others. Oh my gosh, Love on the Brain just did something to me. I wasn't ready for it. And I just love the girl boss energy that Ali Hazelwood writes for her main characters. Like, I absolutely loved B, but there's also this side character that I just thought was funny. Like, I just loved it. I loved the whole enemies to lovers. I loved Levi. Levi was he was good. He was a good one. So overall, I'm giving this book 5 stars because I enjoyed it that much. And there's no denying it. Lastly, I read Loathe to Love You, and although I am happy that I read it, it still didn't like do too much for me. It was kind of just like a light, cute read. I'm not going to rate each individual novella itself. I'm kind of going to rate it as a whole because I feel like it's just weird rating novellas because they're so short, you know? Overall, I give this book like 3 stars. I did feel like the last book kind of made up for the previous 2. So if you are going to read at least one novella, I would recommend Below Zero. And that just about wraps up my Ali Hazelwood little reading vlog that I did. I'm very happy that I finally got to these books because they've been on my TBR a little bit too long. And I can finally understand where the hype is coming from. Like, I definitely see it. I do feel like this book needs a lot more hype than this one. But I still do love both of them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it and comment below what other videos you would like to see. Also, let me know if you read any of these books and how you feel about them. I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Especially let me know if you love Love Hypothesis or Love on the Brain more because I'm actually really curious to know. Because on Goodreads, this is rated higher. But I'm like, why? I will see you guys all in my next video real soon. Okay, bye! What is her name? Oh my gosh. Wait, I said that wrong. No. Ugh.